So can't introduce in some authentic kind of musical disc that I would play. Musical disc called the Coxsone Fever, I would say. Well, I keep it to you if cats from east, west, north to south London town. Now if you're black or white, you really gotta stick around and be no clown. You the brother Coxsone gotta put down, you know.
Rastafari, Selassie, blessed greetings. My name is Ras Pope, long-time lover and supporter of music from Jamaica from its earliest time, really for me, was in about 75, which is a new thing when it comes to reggae music, really, because obviously the roots stretches back to earlier times than that. But when the activity and the fullness of the dimension of roots music reached London was really probably the early 70s in my view. So when we left school and we start follow certain sounds, and me was never a man to stick to one sound. It was like in them days, the youths as we were could travel any part of London. You'd be East London, you'd be North London or Harlesden, you'd be East London, South London, Brixton, then you'd come around and anywhere you'd go and follow music. In them times, obviously Coxsone, Safana B, before that, Fat Man, so you'd be up Tottenham Wood Green one time and then you'd be down North London, then maybe you'd be Ladbroke Grove, or in the avenues for Shabeen and blues dance in those days, the early things. And the main thing about this, the music then, for us, the youths born in England, it was a whole transition of understanding the experience and the trod and the Rasta consciousness that came through really from the brethren and the sistren, from the hard side of life in Jamaica, and then transferred to the musicians that also came out of them fields. And the sound men really gave us that culture, the ones born in England. And when you look back at that time, it was a rebel music still, because it wasn't universal for all people who love reggae music then. If anything, it was a sufferer and a rebel music still. It wasn't commercialized. Virgin and island music hadn't taken it up to the fullness when we started following sound system and going dance. And then there was only really two mainstream, if it wasn't a pirate radio station or thing, there was only two mainstream radio stations that took it up. Obviously the Radio London or that one, and then there was the one where Rodigan was attached to at that time. So you had the other man, Tony Williams, that would play on one side and Rodigan on the other. And that gave Rodigan the element to come through and promote reggae music, where he would work with certain artists. I only really see it from the London point of view, from the dances held. And at that time we had lots of choice for entertainment when it come to going to a dance. But Rodican did hold quite a few dances. I saw him when he was regular really down at Ladbroke Grove and then things. For me, the big problem always with Rodigan, other than the fact that it is a European man promoting reggae music at that time, which still was a rarity. If you look now, everybody, it's very much presented in England as a universal thing, reggae music, through certain commercialization. We can all talk about the roots of how that commercialization happened. But Rodigan managed to bring it on the radio and present it as a more mainstream thing, which then it had broken through anyway through Chris Blackwell and the Island Records and the Virgin Records, and all the way those things took it on, because they see a lot of money in reggae music. They foresaw this time. They saw the finance. But the crying shame of it all when it comes to black music generally throughout the world is it always is credited to white musicians and white promoters and white people at the end of the day. If you look at the story of rock and roll, jazz, blues, even now when you look at hip hop and those various things, and unfortunately the roots music seems to be trying to be presented that way. So that's why me personally, I wouldn't like to look at someone like the man there for bringing forward reggae music in this country. I would see it more like the tradition shows us through our past, that they always grab onto our music when they see there's a certain amount of money and then promote it. And the big thing for me with his dances is you're playing a lot of music from people in Jamaica that understand and know the sacrament of the herb, and Rasta people know about the herb, and lots of the musicians promoted from early time before people are talking about legalization and allowing herb in this time. And what happened now in Jamaica, a small allowing it, when before so much man were put in prison. Anytime you go to the man's dance, he would condemn the smoking in the dance. Yet every tune a play, a ganja music and a promote the herbs and things, but he would condemn it. Rastafari.
These girls in Coxsone Fields, I would say. Well, I keep it to you if you can. East, west, north, to South London town.